August 26th. Good morning to you. I'm Mary Strong alongside meteorologist Jerry Steffen. Yesterday, I mean, wow. I was picking my daughter up from school and suddenly, I mean, it felt like a hurricane blew in. I mean, the trees were going sideways. All this debris was being churned up. There was rain. I mean, you said it was coming, but that was a lot. Yeah,
the lightning really started around the 2 o'clock hour. We're still here and monitoring the radar. I posted some things, but it was just an explosion of storms over the Santa Mountains. And outflow gusts from those collapsing thunderstorms brought gusts of wind. We still have clouds and a chance of rain still today in some areas of Southern California, including the Coachella Valley. We'll take a look at that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jerry. We'll see you shortly. And we start off with coverage of yesterday's stormy weather in the valley. Our NBC Palm Springs' Mark Messer takes a deep dive into our top story this morning. Take a look.
Tonight, dramatic images showing the dangerous flooding that hit Highway 86 along Desert Elmore Ranch near the Salton Sea. Roadways flooded, cars submerged, with drivers and passengers standing on the roofs of their vehicles, waiting for the water to recede.
Oh, this is crazy.
The rainfall started late Monday afternoon, prompting the National Weather Service to issue a flash flood warning. It flooded roads in the high desert, like this one, near Joshua Tree National Park's main gate. In Cathedral City, commuters and pedestrians dodging and pushing through the big puddles. The wind also affecting the road in Palm Desert, with this tree coming down on Monterey near College of the Desert. And thousands without power in the East Valley, as so many are reminded how quickly rain can impact the desert.
Well, here's some more shocking footage from yesterday. Flooding along Highway 86 near Desert Elmore Ranch by the Salton Sea. CHP telling us late last night that everyone has been rescued safely and are receiving assistance in Westmoreland. Checking Caltrans quick information map this morning, the roadways do appear to be reopened south of the Salton Sea. And checking the Imperial Irrigation District outage map this morning near the Salton Sea, there appears to be one outage in North Shore at this time near Avenue 78. The utility reporting 6 customers are still without power, and there's no timeline for recovery. The parents of missing 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro are set to make their first court appearance this morning. Rebecca and Jake Haro were arrested on suspicion of murder last Friday, almost 1 week after reporting their son missing. Search teams were seen off Highway 60 in Moreno Valley over the weekend, working to locate Emmanuel's remains. Jake Haro was seen with the officials in an orange jumpsuit. Now, baby Emmanuel is still missing but presumed dead. Today's court hearing is at the Riverside Hall of Justice, where they will be expected to be formally charged in the case. And we'll, of course, have full coverage of the story throughout the day, so stay tuned for that. Tonight, the city of La Quinta will be honoring fallen Marine Corporal Hunter Lopez and his fellow service members who were killed in the airport attack in Afghanistan. The city will hold a lightsaber vigil at 7 in the evening at Civic Center campus in La Quinta. That's just off Washington Street and Calle Tampico. The lightsabers are replacing candles because Hunter was an avid Star Wars fan. We're going to head outside and take a live look now from our Agua Caliente casino camera in Palm Springs. As Jerry mentioned, lots of clouds still hovering over the mountains today and possible rain expected, Jerry?
That's right. We have a lot of monsoonal moisture still in the area. I'm waiting for the radar to wake up here, but we did have storms moving through the area yesterday afternoon and quite a bit of rain. The background hasn't lit up yet, but you can see the storms. This takes you back to yesterday, and we still have some lingering storms around the area. I don't know why the background isn't lighting up here, but yeah, we'll see the chance of showers and thunderstorms a little later on this afternoon with the heating of the day. Right now we have 76 degrees, winds are calm, 84% relative humidity. Yeah, it's sticky outside. You can smell it too. 73 at thermal, 90% relative humidity thanks to the storms they had roll through the area. Currently 71 degrees at Yucca Valley, 72, 29 Palms, Desert Hot Springs at 74 degrees, 75 at Indio, San Cogonio Pass, 71 at Banning 69 Cabazon. And yeah, a lot of monsoonal moisture over the area, and we do have a good chance of rain for Southern California, much of the Southwest. Temps come down because of the humidity, and the clouds we'll see move in and out of the area. 96 to 100 degrees puts us below 100 for many of us, but yeah, warm and humid today. Warm because we're not seeing any triples, at least for most of us in the valley this afternoon. Still quite humid out there, a lot of moisture at the surface. We'll see 60, close to 70-degree dew points today. 96 degrees at 4 o'clock. That's the high for Palm Springs this afternoon with a chance of a few showers. 97 Indio, 98 Cathedral City, and 94 degrees at Desert Hot Springs. Comfort Air 3-day. We won't see any rain on Wednesday, but Thursday we have a chance of getting maybe a few light showers, extra cloud cover because of Tropical Storm Juliet, what's left of it by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. More on that in the full forecast, including the 7-day minutes away.
All right, Jerry, thanks. Well, the Palm Springs International Airport will be holding their 5th annual job fair today. It's taking place at the Palm Springs Convention Center this morning starting at 10 and will run until 3 in the afternoon. The airport is looking to fill over 200 positions from transportation to customer service. You can learn more on our newsroom tab at NBCPalmSprings.com. The Palm Springs Parks and Recreation Department is looking for your feedback on designing the Desert Highland Park's new playground. They'll be holding a community meeting tonight at the James O. Jesse Desert Highland Unity Center. The meeting starts at 6 p.m. and will review concept designs and allow the community to give input and share ideas to shape the new neighborhood project. The Palm Springs Public Library has officially opened its temporary location at Rimrock Plaza. Library Director Jeannie Kays and her team, with the help from Public Works, created the new space for visitors. An official ribbon-cutting ceremony will be held soon, and we'll keep you posted on that date. Just 7 months into President Trump's term, the Department of Justice has fired nearly a quarter of San Francisco's immigration judges, prompting fear the administration is attempting to assert control over U.S. immigration courts and purge judges whose decisions aren't in line with the White House's agenda. NBC's Hilda Gutierrez reports.
A quarter of San Francisco's immigration judges have been terminated since President Trump took office. The shakeup has Bay Area immigrants with pending cases in the city worried.
Poco nerviosa, bastante.
A little nervous, a lot because of all we see on the news and on social media. She's referring to the stepped-up arrest by ICE agents coupled with a shrinking number of judges. The latest dismissal was Judge Chloe Dillon on Friday after 3 years on the bench. Dillon, like most of the other 6 Bay Area judges terminated, granted asylum in the majority of cases that came before her. 96% of them, according to the Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse, or TRAC, at Syracuse University. Respondents say this means the remaining judges could be tougher to sway. For this Guatemalan woman, today was her last opportunity to convince an immigration judge she deserves to stay.
Y pues, como le digo, el juez que me tocó es bien estricto.
The judge that I got is very strict. When we checked, her assigned judge showed only a 42% approval rating. This girl was in court to translate for her mother, who speaks in a Guatemalan dialect. They did not know about the recent firings.
Estoy aprendiendo que hablar en inglés y en español ayudar a mi mamá.
I am learning Spanish and English to help my mom, she said. Molly McGettigan is a volunteer court observer. She says she could see a discontent in judges the moment federal agents appeared in their courtrooms.
It's unjust, it's unfair. The last time I came here, I got the very strong feeling that the judges were deeply upset.
Judge Dillon's dismissal coincides with a policy memo released Friday by the Department of Justice suggesting that DOJ could go after judges with very high statistically improbable outcome metrics, or outliers. Sonika Mahajan from San Francisco's Rapid Response Network says the memo is part of a bigger agenda.
And I think these narratives that they're spinning, including, this high or this outlier rate, I mean, they're going to use that specifically for their agenda, to further their agenda, which is to dismiss judges that have a high approval rate.
And that was NBC's Hilda Gutierrez reporting. Some residents in Napa County, California are being ordered to evacuate because of the picket fire. It's burning in a mostly rural area, but it's getting close to some properties. So far, it's scorched more than 6,800 acres. It's the same area as the glass fire in 2020. Residents near Calistoga are facing the biggest threat. An air tanker and helicopter dropping water from above are helping ground crews. And as of this morning, the blaze is only 15% contained. The California Republican Party and Dillon Law Group are asking the Supreme Court to keep Proposition 50 from going to voters in a recent petition. They say the proposition, which would allow state legislatures to draw a new congressional map, violates the state's constitution that lawmakers do not have the power to redraw maps.
This is about protecting the rights of Californians, safeguarding fair representation of their interests, and ensuring that the rules we all agreed to are respected. In short, this is about protecting voters from partisan gerrymandering and backroom deals. The people already decided politicians shouldn't draw their own districts.
If approved by voters in November, the new map would be used for the next 3 election cycles and could help Democrats reclaim control of the U.S. House in 2026. It's time now for Where in the Valley, where we show you a photo of a location somewhere in the Coachella Valley and you guess where it is. So let me show you the photo. Take a good look. Have you been here? You'll have some time to think about it. We're going to reveal this special location at the end of our broadcast. I'll give you a little hint before we get there. Coming up next on your morning news, I sit down with an expert to talk about how one simple exercise can drastically reduce your chances of chronic back pain. That's coming up next. But first, let's head outside and take a live look at your Agua Caliente Casino camera in Rancho Mirage. Lots of clouds out there to start us off on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Jerry's going to have a full breakdown of your forecast straight ahead.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
We all know that walking has many benefits. In fact, just 78 minutes of walking a day can dramatically reduce the risk of chronic back pain, heart disease, and early death, according to a recent study published in the Department of Public Health and Nursing at the Norwegian University of Science. There's growing evidence that suggests moderate and consistent activity can deliver major health benefits. But is any kind of walking good enough? Joining us today to help break this down is board-certified orthopedic spine surgeon and sports medicine expert, Dr. Hooman Melamed. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Dr. Melamed.
Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So what makes walking so effective at reducing chronic back pain and improving overall health?
Motion. Motion is life. As human beings, we were meant to move. We were not meant to be sedentary. And as we get older, especially once we pass our getting to the 40s and above, the more you want to move, the more you want to be active. It's the circulation, basically keeping everything limber and lubricating your joints, as they say. That's what this is about.
The study was very specific, saying that people should walk for 78 minutes. How much time does it really matter how much time you walk? I've heard it's 30, some people say 45 minutes, but this study was 78 minutes. That's pretty specific.
It is very specific. I don't know if I can 100% agree. I think the most important premise, it has to be, we don't want to make exercise a form of stress. I don't want people to be stressed, I gotta walk 7-8 minutes. Oh my God, otherwise I'm not gonna see the results. No, if you can do 15 minutes, do 15 minutes. If you can do 20, do 20, do 30. If you can do more than that, do more than that. The key is being active. Walking, if you do it, is a repetitive activity, and you can get repetitive trauma, right? So you have to think about your posture. If you're walking and your posture is like this, yes, you're going to be hurting your back and your neck, sure. You want to make sure, number one, your posture is good. Just pace yourself slowly, baby steps, build yourself up, because if you do too much, you're going to get stress injuries. You don't want that.
How does walking compare with other forms of moderate exercise when it comes to spine and joint health? Is running better, or will walking do?
No, I think every exercise has its own merit. The most important thing, as I said, is form. Form is very important, and having the proper gears, for walking, running, making sure you have the proper shoes. You don't want to go running, for example, with basketball shoes or meant for shoes that are indoor, turf soccer shoes. You want to make sure you have, again, and your form as you're walking or running, you're in basically good form. As I said, running is basically an impact, for example. It definitely gets everything going. I love running myself, but I only do it on rubber track, on sand, or on grass, because running, for example, on hard surface for a long time, it will wear out your spine, will wear out your joints, basically. But in general, every exercise I encourage everybody to do, as long as you do good form, you have proper gear, and you're smart about it.
So in your opinion, this study is suggesting that walking overall has a lot of health benefits, including reducing lower back pain. Would you agree to that?
100%. If it's done properly, as I said, yes, absolutely. Every exercise is, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Melamed, for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back.
Bye.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
Lots of of low to middle clouds out there. This is a nice view of it too on our Agua Caliente casino cam, and radar was active yesterday. Here's that loop I was talking about that takes us back to yesterday afternoon. Look at that. All that thunderstorm activity moving through the area, lots of rain with it too, and it zoomed out. We basically stopped the rain as we moved into the evening hours, and no sunshine, but we could see some again later today. 73 degrees at Desert Hot Springs, 75,000 Palms in Indio, 68 degrees currently Banning. Winds variable right now, but they should be onshore by about sunset later today, but wind's really not an issue. We did have flood advisories in parts of Imperial County where they had lots of rain over the past 24 hours. Just a flood warning left until 7:45 this morning, just under the Salton Sea in southern Imperial County. As far as radar, nothing happening here over the Coachella Valley Mountains. That'll change a little later on today, but you can see all the action currently taking place in Arizona and to our northeast, all part of a high pressure center, which is parked way to the east of us, but in a position where it's tapping into that monsoonal moisture, and we'll see that again today over Southern California. Clouds will play a role in keeping us below normal, 96 to 100 for the high temps today. So monsoonal moisture, you can see the coverage here into southern parts of California, mostly over the Four Corners states. As far as rain chances here, maybe up to a third of an inch in the mountains, just hit and miss showers in the Coachella Valley later this afternoon. Now, as far as timing with rain later today, start the clock there, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, not much happening this morning until we get to the afternoon with the heating of the day. Now, the steering currents yesterday from north to south, today a little more to the northeast. So anything that develops over our mountains here will be pushed to the northeast later on today. Spillover showers are possible moving into 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Possibility of that happening as we move into late afternoon as well, but then it all tapers off as we move into tonight. Now, as far as temps, 96 is all you're going to get for high today thanks to the humidity, and clouds 97 at Indio. And Wednesday, that high pressure backs off, so we get a break from any rain as we move into tomorrow. A little breezy with low pressure center to our northwest, but even the mountains could see maybe hit and miss shower. That's about it. Not much in the chance of rain. Nothing widespread, but 103 on Wednesday for Palm Springs, 102 at Indio. And then we look at the tropics. We've been talking about Juliet last couple of days. Well, it's moving its way to the northwest, basically, and will fizzle out. But long-term forecast has this system moving its way to the northwest and then north. Now, it's going to fizzle out. It's going to be extratropical by the time we get to Thursday, but some of that moisture will be funneled into Southern California. So Thursday, we could see hit and miss showers because of Juliet. A little extra cloud cover, too, for the Coachella Valley, 101 Thursday afternoon. As far as surface moisture, which has been a problem, very humid out there right now. Close to 70-degree dew points this afternoon with lots of humidity. It backs off a little bit over the next couple of days, but not getting rid of it totally as we move into Thursday and Friday. Comfort Air 7-day forecast, 96 for Palm Springs. Under some clouds today, even a chance of rain this afternoon. Thunderstorms for the mountains. We'll see Wednesday. Yeah, still some clouds, partly cloudy, 103, 98 degrees with clouds thanks to Juliet.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
These are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely
Hey there, happy Tuesday morning. A little humid outside. We'll talk more about that in the full forecast coming up. But today, hashtag holiday calendar brought to you by One Coachella Valley. What's happening today? Some of the holidays that you may not know are happening. Tuesday, August 26, 2025. It's National Cherry Popsicle Day today. Ooh. National Grape Popsicle Day is on May 27th. I don't know why they don't lump them all together, but they don't.
Good call.
Anyway, today is National Cherry Popsicle Day. Also, it's National Musical Yoga Day is today. I'm not really into yoga, but is yoga usually a quiet thing?
So, well, there's many different types, but I actually like to teach to music because it helps get you out of your head, which is the whole point of you being there. Yeah.
I always thought it was very quiet, introspective, just quiet, standing on one leg kind of a thing.
That you can do that too.
Okay. Also, National Toilet Paper Day is today. Today we mark the 154th anniversary of the first sale of toilet paper on a roll, in the United States. We salute toilet paper today as it's always there to answer the call of duty. Duty. Get it?
Good one, Jer.
Also, it's a Make Your Own Luck Day. It's the day to shift from a passive hope for the best attitude to an active making it happen day.
That's right.
So that's today. And luck. That's our key word in today's pop quiz. Have two questions for you. Bring up the first of two, multiple choice. The song Hard Luck Woman became one of the very early hit singles from the rock band Kiss. Hard Luck Woman was originally written by Kiss guitarist Paul Stanley as a possible song for another performer to record. But after their success with the power ballad Beth, Kiss decided to keep the song for themselves. So who was Stanley initially considering as a vocalist when he wrote Hard Luck Woman? Take a listen to the vocals here and see if you can guess who. A, Bryan Adams, B, Rod Stewart, or C, Van Morrison?
I'm going to go with B.
Yeah, we're listening to Kiss right now. B, okay, Control Room. Who could it be? Who did he write it for? C, and a B. Two B's and two C's. Ooh. Yeah, it sounds like Rod Stewart because he's kind of imitating him. It was originally written for Rod Stewart, but they thought, as a band Kiss, we're going to keep it. But yeah, that's the answer.
Wow. Sounds like Rod Stewart, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. A lot of people thought it was when it was first on the air. Okay, second question here. Andrew Luck is currently the general manager of the Stanford Cardinal football team in Stanford, California, but as a starting quarterback in the National Football League between 2012 and 2018, Luck took snaps from this team. A, the Cleveland Browns, B, Denver Broncos, or C, Indianapolis Colts. You know your NFL football, Andrew Luck, okay? Back to the control room, guys. Got a B in the back, a B in the back. And we're waiting for Harrison C and a C.
Yeah,
and
it's
a C.
Thick old.
I like that. Yeah. Rico was so confident, he had to hold his letter until the last second, right? Because he knew it was Andrew. Yeah, okay. Indianapolis Colts is the correct answer for Andrew Luck. Oh, good luck to you. Back in a bit with weather updates and, of course, news in just a bit.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Welcome back on this Tuesday, August 26th. I'm Mary Strong. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning. Jerry's going to have your full AccuWeather forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but first a look at some of the stories making headlines at this hour. Torrential rain hit the valley on Monday afternoon. There was major flooding along Highway 86 near Desert Elmore Ranch by the Salton Sea. People were standing on the tops of their cars for safety. The California Highway Patrol tells us late last night that everyone has been rescued safely and are receiving assistance in Westmoreland. Checking Caltrans quick information map this morning, the roadways do appear to be reopened south of the Salton Sea. And checking the Imperial Irrigation District outage map, there appears to only be one outage in North Shore at this time near Avenue 78. The utility reporting 6 customers are still without power, and there's no estimated time for recovery. Palm Desert is calling on artists to help shape the city's future. The Cultural Arts Committee is inviting proposals for a major sculpture installation. It's at the roundabout on the north end of the San Pablo Avenue, right by the College of the Desert. Artists are encouraged to think big, focusing on scale, visibility, durability, and even incorporating lighting for nighttime impact. The project budget is set at $200,000, covering design, fabrication, and installation. The deadline to apply is Thursday, September 4th. The City of Indio is asking for your feedback to help shape its new technology master plan. Officials say the goal is to improve city services both in person and online and make them more customer friendly. Residents, businesses, and visitors are encouraged to take a short 5-minute survey to share their input. City leaders say your feedback will be essential in building a plan that better meets the community's needs. We've got that survey on our newsroom tab on NBCPalmSprings.com. Cathedral City is turning 100, and to celebrate their 100th anniversary, they'll be holding a free screening of a movie called Palm Springs Weekend, and it was filmed right here in the area. It'll be held this Saturday, August 30th at the Mary Pickford Theater. Admission is free, and they'll be giving away some 100th anniversary merchandise as well. There has been a massive shakeup in the California planned high-speed rail system. Republicans are battling the project with support from the president. Reporter Tora Apodaca has the story.
California's high-speed rail on track for the future or off the rails.
The only thing high speed about the high-speed rail is the high speed of which are wasting our tax dollars.
California Senate Republicans and President Trump, who recently announced he's pulling $4 billion of federal funding from the project, are not on board.
Funding, long-term funding commitment, is what we are asking for.
But the CEO of the California High-Speed Rail Authority joined state Democratic leaders Monday, saying the project isn't coming to a halt. It just needs some help. California voters approved the high-speed rail project to connect LA to San Francisco in 2008, proposed then to cost $33 billion and be completed by 2020. That never happened. Democratic Senator Dave Cortese says it failed because they weren't looking at private sector money.
How much of taxpayer dollars, though, have gone into this project and would need to go in to have its completion?
Yeah, there's most certainly billions of dollars that have already been invested in the project, and the project now has in excess of $100 billion budget.
The train tracks would stretch for about 400 miles, connecting Merced to Bakersfield by 2032 and Gilroy to Palmdale by 2038.
This is an economic development project with a rail line in the middle of it.
Cortese says the train will bring more to California than just connection, but economic development along the tracks, like housing. He hopes train riders and the development projects will eventually pay for itself. But Republicans aren't convinced California will ever see a return on the investment.
If you had your money, would you invest in a project that said it was going to be $33 billion? and now it's over $100 billion.
A cleaner way of connecting Californians by transit. Is the cost worth it?
And that was Tori Apodaca reporting. Kilmar Abrego Garcia was taken into ICE custody on Monday morning. The Maryland construction worker was mistakenly deported to a notorious prison in El Salvador back in March. He was returned to the U.S. in June to face human smuggling charges. He returned with his family last week after his release from federal custody on parole Friday. According to his lawyer, Garcia was taken into ICE custody after an immigration check-in that was part of his parole. The Trump administration announced over the weekend its intention to deport him to Uganda. They allege the 30-year-old is a danger to the community and an MS-13 gang member. President Donald Trump signed executive orders on Monday to eliminate cashless bail. According to the White House, the order threatens federal funding in cities if they do not change cashless bail policies. Trump signed another executive order to prosecute people who desecrate the American flag, and that order could hit a legal obstacle. The Supreme Court decided in Texas versus Johnson in 1989 that flag burning was protected by the First Amendment. The President of the United States is firing a Federal Reserve governor for the first time in the Fed's 111-year history. At least he's trying to. Lisa Cook says she's going to keep doing the job until the court decides if her termination is actually legal. It's too early to assess the full impact of Trump's move since he posted the announcement at 8:02 p.m. Eastern last night. That's right at the end of after-hours trading. Some analysts expect economic shock waves. Reporter Amy Kiley has more on that.
When executives start to try and meddle with central bank independence, that comes at real cost.
Experts say President Donald Trump's unprecedented attempt to fire a Federal Reserve governor could affect average Americans. Lisa Cook's termination is likely to end up in court. Trump can only fire a Fed board member for cause, and Cook faces no legal charges. In a letter, he claims she, quote, may have made false statements on one or more mortgage agreements.
She and Jay Powell are holding the economy hostage by not cutting rates.
If Cook's seat becomes vacant, Trump can nominate her replacement. He's pressuring board members to cut interest rates beyond what they think is good for the economy. If he succeeds, the Fed would have less control over inflation.
If you have a job, if you have money saved, if you have children, any kind of commitment to this country doing well in the future, this should be of concern.
Investors do seem concerned based on overnight drops in stock futures and the U.S. dollar index. Those reflect retirement accounts and spending power. Beyond economics, analysts also see impacts from Trump's broader campaign to punish perceived enemies.
There's going to be many other people that he's going after as well, but I love it.
Critics say they're worried about how far he'll go.
What is the threat now to the average American?
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, Wall Street is set to open lower as investors react to President Trump's move to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Yields on U.S. Treasury bonds are moving higher, and the dollar is slipping on the news, seen as the latest attack by President Trump on the Fed's independence from political influence. The market's falling yesterday, with investors taking profits after Friday's rally. Netflix will open the first Netflix house at the King of Prussia Mall near Philadelphia on November 12th and a second location in Dallas on December 11th. The complexes are free to the public, offering a mix of complimentary and paid fan experiences centered around shows like Wednesday, Squid Game, and Stranger Things. You'll be able to take selfies with characters like Queen Charlotte from Bridgerton, have a meal and a cocktail at Netflix Bites, and go on an adventure with the crew from One Piece. You can register for the wait list at netflixhouse.com. Even though the calendar still says it's summertime, the pumpkin spice latte returns to Starbucks today. First introduced in 2003, it's Starbucks' most popular seasonal beverage, and it's available in hot, iced, or blended. It's also a critical sales driver for the coffee giant. Last year, Starbucks said 10% of its sales come from returning favorites. It's time now for Your Health Today, brought to you by Inland Empire Health Plan. Today, more than 38 million Americans live with type 2 diabetes. And when it comes to treatments, one size doesn't fit all. But a recent study suggests a new tool could help patients in real time. Mandy Gaither has more on that.
When it comes to type 2 diabetes, full management of the disease can be a struggle.
It's very important to get the blood sugar under control to reduce the patient's risk of developing long-term complications.
Dr. Kevin Pantalone with Cleveland Clinic says many of his patients want to know how they can get off of the medications used to help them manage blood sugar. That's why he and a team of researchers are studying how artificial intelligence may be able to help. Through an app from Twin Health on a patient's smartphone, he says the technology uses a person's data from biosensors, including their physical activity and continuous glucose monitor, and is able to learn a patient's predicted glucose responses to various meals, then provides personalized recommendations.
In real time, it will tell the patients based on their predicted response what they should consume for the meal, how many grams of carbohydrate, as well as the order in which the foods are consumed.
After 12 months of research, Pantalone says 71% of patients who took part in the study were able to get an average blood glucose level, known as A1C, of 6.5% without any glucose-lowering medications, except metformin, a common and relatively low-cost diabetes drug. That compared to the less than 3% of the group of participants who tried to achieve the same results with only standard diabetes care from their doctor in that time.
When you give patients the tools and the technology to succeed, patients can do very well.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, earlier we showed you a photo of a location somewhere in the Coachella Valley, and I told you I'd show you the photo again and give you one more hint before we reveal the location at the end of our broadcast. So let me show you that photo. And here's the hint. You can find this restaurant in Indian Wells. Think about that. We'll tell you more about this special location coming up later on in our broadcast. But first, we're going to head back to Jerry in the Weather Center for a look at what's ahead in your forecast, Jerry.
Yeah, what's in the weather headlines today? Well, another day of showers and thunderstorms over the mountains a little later on. Possible shower for the valley later today. Humidity is way up there. Yeah, if you step outside, you'll feel it slappy in the face. Also, Juliet, which is a tropical storm right now in the Northeast Pacific, could affect us in a couple days. I'll explain how. Full forecast on 7 Day next.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
Houston, clouds, low and mid-level clouds around the Coachella Valley right now, and we'll see some sunshine today, but clouds will begin to thicken late in the day, kind of like yesterday when we had temperatures that were slightly below normal, but we had a lot of clouds move in. That kept temps below normal and also rain. This is a loop that takes us back to yesterday afternoon when we had lots of showers and thunderstorms over the mountains. You can see the influx of moisture there. Wow! That all moved around the area late afternoon into the early evening hours and then tapered off. Now, we're still going to see the chance of rain in our area later today. Right now, a lot of 70s to begin our morning. Winds are light and variable. We have a flood warning still in effect south of Salton Sea where there were flooding issues yesterday. That's in Imperial County that expires at 7:45. Could be reinstated later today with more rain on the way. Of course, the ground already saturated. Radar, nothing happening over the Coachella Valley yet. Got to wait for the orographic lift storms and heating of the day. You can see all the action to the north and east of us right now over parts of San Bernardino County. So high pressure centered to the east of us, but in a position where it's tapping into that moisture and guiding it in our area. 96 to 100 degrees. So clouds and humidity will keep us below normal, even double digits for us in the Coachella Valley today. So scattered showers are a possibility. Monsoonal moisture still in place, and you can see widespread action over much of the southwest. Now, for us in the valley, we'll see some showers and thunderstorms in the mountains first, and then it gets pushed in our direction. Spillover showers are a possibility. Not a lot of accumulation, most of that for the mountains. Here's a look at the HRRR, the short range, often updated computer model. You can see the clock there, 8:45, 9:45, 10:45. Nothing this morning until we get to the afternoon hours. It'll be over the mountains when we see thunderstorms beginning to develop. By the middle of the afternoon, some of those could spill over into the Coachella Valley. Keep in mind, the steering currents yesterday were from south to north. Today, there'll be more of a northeasterly flow into Southern California. Same thing that develops would be pushed in our direction over the Santa Rosa, Santa Mountains. 96 degrees, that's all you're going to get for high today. 97 at Palm Desert. Tomorrow, the monsoonal moisture does back off, so we get some relief from rain in Southern California. Temperatures move up just above 100 degrees for us in the Coachella Valley. Here's a look at the rainfall possibilities for Wednesday. You can see just a little bit possible in the Santa Rosa Mountains. 103 on Wednesday under partly cloudy skies for Palm Springs on Wednesday. 104 for Palm Desert. Now, as far as the tropics are concerned, this is the Northeast Pacific, but Juliet still out there, 65-mile-an-hour winds. It's moving its way right now to the west-northwest at a forward speed of 13 miles an hour, but it's expected to move over cooler sea surface temps and it'll begin falling apart. But this system still will have some rain and moisture with it, and by the time it moves its way to the north a little bit, it'll be close enough that some of that moisture will be moved into Southern California, and we could see some spotty showers in the area. For us, though, it'll be lots of clouds. Surface moisture, yeah, very humid today. You can step outside, you can feel it. That'll be the case somewhat tomorrow. The numbers do move down to around 50 degrees as far as dew points on Thursday and again on Friday. So yeah, humid out there. That backs off a little bit over the next few days. So today, showers and thunderstorms, a good possibility this afternoon. 103, partly cloudy skies. And Juliet clouds is what I'm calling it for Thursday with a high of 98. 104 under mostly cloudy skies Friday.
Coming up here on Today, the new lawsuit alleging that ChatGPT led a 16-year-old boy down a dark and ultimately a tragic path. This morning, our exclusive and emotional conversation with his parents and the message that they want all families to hear. We'll have that and much more ahead on Today.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more. The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Welcome back. With week 0 behind us, we now turn our attention to week 1 with 3 in-Valley teams playing each other. Certainly going to be a fun slate. We talked about the teams that are out of league that'll stay right here in the Valley all season long. We've got Rancho Mirage. They'll travel to Coachella Valley. They're both in the top 5. We'll have more on that in a moment. The Saints of Xavier Prep will take on Desert Hot Springs. 2 great coaches ready to battle. A battle of both 1-0 teams. Then La Quinta will play their first game of the season, travel up to the high desert to take on Yucca Valley. And then Cathedral City will host San Bernardino, looking for their first win and their first home game of the season. I want to take a look at the rankings. Do a top 5 for fun. And this is the teams that I saw and who I think are in the top 5. The Palm Springs offense, impressive as I've seen in my time here in the Valley. Jordan Johnson with 5 total touchdowns, an animal on the ground. If the defense can just lock in, they'll be tough to beat. Palm Desert's defense, on the other hand, as advertised the other night, 2 touchdowns for the defense, one of them being a pick 6. The Aztecs ready to compete for the DEL title. I'm not writing Rancho Mirage off just yet, despite a tough loss, a 42-14 loss at home to a good team out of El Cajon. I still think they're the team to beat in the Desert Empire. Then Coachella Valley didn't skip a beat after losing Aaron Ramirez and Derek Calderon last season. Ivan Camargo, the next man up, he proved that. And then rounding it out is the Yucca Valley, the Trojans, with a ton of offense from Aiden Pope and Clyde King, combining for almost 300 yards of offense. Their matchup will be big with La Quinta this Friday night. And maybe the best time of year in the sports world. The NFL just around the corner, and it's time for fantasy drafts. So I want to chat about it. Email me. You see my email there on the screen. I want to know what league you're in, what kind of style the league is, the rules, and what pick you have. I'm playing in a 12-team snake draft and have the 4th pick. It's against other media members here in the Valley, so we can't lose. I don't have a clue, though, which way I'm leaning. Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley will be your top 3 picks, right? So that leaves me at 4. Let me know your thoughts. You can email me. And that'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
A new movie in theaters is about relationships, but its creators call it an unromantic comedy. David Daniel has a look at Splitsville.
May I really get divorced? Please don't say that. I'm unfaithful. I've been unfaithful.
Ashley's announcement sends Carrie running in Splitsville. He winds up at his friend's house, where Julie and Paul have an announcement of their own.
We are not monogamous. He can do what he wants, and I don't want to know about it. Unless I do want to know about it, in which case I would ask, and he would tell me everything.
What if it's someone you know? I don't care who it is.
Really?
Yeah, why would I care? You can see where this is going, right?
By the way, Julie and I had sex last night. Together.
What makes life sometimes hilarious and heartbreaking and compelling is the miscommunication and the mistakes that and the follies.
Yeah, I think everyone's trying to do the right thing in the moment that they're in, and oftentimes that's the wrong thing.
Michelangelo Covino and Kyle Marvin wrote the script with Covino directing.
I was able to really admire how present
even though he was directing me, how present as an actor he was able to be.
I don't want to have sex with you either, Ashley, okay? I just want my wife back. God, why does everything have to be so complicated?
As a writing duo, they're very much equal partners. And then on set, Mike is the director and Kyle is acting. And he very much listens to Mike. And it's funny. It's like he became quite submissive. It was really interesting to see.
They understood the tone of the film. They both understood the tone of the film and and what role they had to play and what instrument they had to play, so to speak.
This is normal, right? People go through stuff like this in the first year of marriage.
No.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I've been working out.
If you'd like more information on the stories we've aired in our broadcast today, you can go to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. You're going to find our top stories and breaking news right there on our homepage and our newsroom tab. It's a really cool feature. You're going to find our stories and local events organized by date. Now let's head outside and take a live look at your Indian Wells Golf Resort cameras. Some of those clouds are clearing out over the mountains this morning. We're going to be right back with a recap of your weather forecast and reveal our Where in the Valley special location. Stay right here.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
It's time to reveal our special location for our broadcast. Did you guess where this is? It's Vicky's of Santa Fe in Indian Wells. It opened in 1989 and is off Club Drive. It's known for its American cuisine, cocktails, and my favorite part of this restaurant is the live music. It's always so fun.
Never been.
It's really cool, and the food's very good too if you want to check it out. More proof of just how incredibly unlikely it is to win the Powerball jackpot. No one has done it since May 31st. That means the pot is rolling over after no one won again on Monday night. Now it's expected to reach $815 million before Wednesday's drawing. That would make it the 7th largest in the lottery's history. The cash value of that payout, if taken in a lump sum, would be about $368 million. The jackpot could go even higher if more people than expected buy tickets, and of course that also increases the likelihood of a winner or even multiple winners who would have to split that big prize. Geez, you can't even spend that really in a lifetime.
I'm not greedy. Just give me $1 million.
Just give it.
$1
Okay,
million,
just
that's fine.
Little sharing never hurts anyone.
Forecast today: monsoonal moisture like yesterday still in place today, and we have a good chance of mountain thunderstorms. It will be pushed to the northeast this time, so anything that develops over the Santa Rosa, Santa Mountains will be pushed over the Coachella Valley, but light amounts here. Now, as far as temps, they go down thanks to the humidity, and clouds will see this afternoon. 96 degrees for Palm Springs today. We'll see some sunshine Wednesday, but Juliet could bring a lot of clouds over Southern California Thursday, high of 98.
And it's been a nice break from the heat. Don't mind it at all.